Algebra 2, this is Chapter 4, Section 4. This is the third video. This one's on dilations. So back to Algebra 1. When you were in Algebra 1 and you had to dilate this figure here by a factor of 1/2, we had to take each of our points. So let's put our points back on here. We've got this point here, which is the point 4, -1. We've got the point up here, which is 5, 2. We've got our point over here, which is 2, 3. And we have our last point, which was the point 1, 0. And in Algebra 1, if we wanted to dilate by a factor of 1/2, we took every single coordinate and multiplied by 1/2. So when we were working with the red point, the 4, -1, we multiplied both of those by 1/2, and we resulted with 2, -1/2. So 2, -1/2 would end up being right here. And that would be our new point. Then I'll go to the green point. So we had the point 5, 2. And you'd multiply both of those coordinates by 1/2. And half of 5 is 2.5. And half of 2 is 1. So our new point would be 2.5 and 1. So there's my new green point. Then let's go around to blue. Blue was the point 2, 3, and if you multiplied everything there by 1/2, half of 2 is 1 and half of 3 is 1.5. So my new point would be 1, 1.5, right there. And then my last point, my purple point, is the point 1, 0, and you multiply both of those by the 1/2, and you end up with half of 1 is 1/2, and half of 0 is still 0, so you get 1/2, 0. Then we can take our black and draw back in our new matrix. Oops, that's not a very good line. And, well, not a new matrix, but our new object. And our new object has been shifted slightly and is half every side. Oops, every side is going to be half of the side of the original. So that would be by a factor of 1/2 and how we would do it with Algebra 1. Algebra 2, we're looking at matrices. Since we multiplied every single coordinate by 1/2, this is a scalar multiplication. So you're going to take your matrix like we looked at back with our translation. You're going to take all the coordinates. So you've got the point 2, 3. Here's our point 2, 3. Right? And then we've got our point 5, 2. There's our point 5, 2. And we've got our point 4, -1. There's our point 4, -1. And our last point 1, 0. And we put them in a matrix where the x's are on top and the y's are on the bottom. And when you do a scalar multiplication, you're actually multiplying every single element by 1/2, which then would give you a resultant matrix. And half of 2 is 1. Half of 5 is 2.5. Half of 4 is 2. Half of 1 is 1/2. Half of 3 is 1 and 1/2. Half of 2 is 1. Half of -1 is -1/2. And half of 0 is 0. And then we go and grab these. So this was the one that went with the first point. So I'm at forward 1, up 1.5. And then I'll grab my second point. So I'm at 2, 1, 2, 2.5, 1, right there. And then I'll grab my third point here. So that's 2, -1/2. And you can see that this is very much the same that we just did in 1/2, 0. And you get the same exact answer. So by doing a dilation, you are doing a matrix scalar multiplication. And that's it.